This is a very impressive hurricane. So impressive that every time we hear from the National Hurricane Center, we're hearing something worse about all the key ingredients regarding Hurricane Dorian, a Category 4 hurricane. In the past 24 hours, it went from a Category 1 to a Category 4. There is intense strengthening. There could be catastrophic damage from this. You've seen all those images of people filling up their cars with gas, also going into the grocery store, buying plywood or tin, or just trying to get their lives pulled together so that when this does eventually make its way on the coast of Florida, presumably, that there will be preparation that has been made. Well, what's going to happen? The computer models are kind of all over the place. Most of them are in fairly good agreement that this will move across mostly the northern Bahamas, then into the Florida Strait, and then it's a question mark, and that's what everyone wants to know. Where is this going to make landfall? How strong is it going to be? It's going to be a strong hurricane, a major hurricane. Anything above a Category 3 is considered a major hurricane. All right, these are the spaghetti models, and they take it up the coast of Florida. But does it make landfall? Well, it depends on which computer model you look at. All right, we take a look at this right now. The wind supporting this at 140 miles per hour with higher gusts, 165-mile-an-hour winds, moving towards the west-northwest. At some point, computer models are saying this is going to continue to make its way towards the west. So you would think it would make landfall, but no, as it continues just to kind of slow down, gather its strength, and it moves across the Bahamas, maybe weakens a little bit because as they interact with land, that's what happens. Could be potentially catastrophic damage across the Bahamas. But take a look at this. The Gulf Stream, that's out there. We've seen this before. These tropical systems encounter the Gulf Stream and it is gold. Hurricanes, love the energy that comes off of the Gulf Stream with that warm current of water. All right, this is the European model. We talk about these two different models, one being the European, moves across Freeport, and then does it make it to the Florida coast? Not exactly. It looks like it lies just off the coast, which is probably just as bad if it made landfall. All right, this is the American model. This one, in fact, does bring it along the Treasure Coast, maybe the Space Coast, from around Merritt Island, Port St. Lucie, right around the Cape. It's going to be generally in that vicinity. But if you were to lay this hurricane over the Florida Peninsula, the peninsula is about 500 miles long. This hurricane is something about 300 miles wide, so it would impact most of the Florida Peninsula. But look at what happened with Matthew. It went through the Bahamas and just teased the coast for days before producing epic rainfall in coastal South Carolina. All right, forecast winds, and it looks like this is going to be impacting the airports. They're going to shut down eventually. Daytona, that will be Sunday night around midnight. Also for Orlando, very busy airport there, could cease commercial operations on Monday morning. But we'll keep you updated. I'm CNN meteorologist Karen McGinnis.
Uxbridge and South Ruislip, a quiet suburban area in West London you probably haven't heard of.
My name's Ali, I'm the local parliamentary candidate here, so I'm standing against Boris Johnson. We're just going around saying hello to everyone.
Fab, hello. But it could be a key battleground in the next general election. The residents here have the power to topple the Prime Minister. At just 25 years old, Ali Milani has been selected by the Labour Party to contend this area.
Someone likes Boris. Yeah, make a note of the date and time. It'll go down in history.
Milani's family moved to the UK from Iran when he was a young child. He lives here, he was educated here, he's worked here, and as a result, he thinks he can beat Boris Johnson.
People here deserve leaders who understand what it's like to live like us.
And Boris Johnson doesn't?
And he doesn't. I mean, if you dropped him off at the end of the road, he wouldn't be able to find his way home.
Despite this traditionally being a Conservative safe seat, Boris Johnson's majority halved in the last general election, and Labour were hot on his heels. If Milani wins, he'll be the first MP ever to unseat a current Prime Minister.
No one thought Brexit would happen. No one thought Trump would happen. Well, now I think it's about time that the biggest upset in political history actually opens the door for a positive new era in politics.
Taking a break from canvassing, we sit down to discuss some of Boris Johnson's controversial comments.
To have an MP that writes such brazenly racist, offensive comments is shame for this community.
Johnson has apologised for some of his past comments. However, he isn't the only one coming under fire for what he said. In the past, Ali Milani himself made anti-Semitic comments on social media.
The comments you raised were when I was a teenager and when I was very, very young. That doesn't make them right. It's not an excuse. I have apologised. And actually, I've tried to take some really serious steps to rebuild trust, going on trips to Auschwitz and Birkenau, all the way to reaching out to the Jewish community, doing anti-Semitism training.
Despite past controversy, Ali Milani is the Labour candidate. But do voters know who he is?
No.
No.
Not especially, no.
Clearly, Milani has more doors to knock on. He may not have Boris Johnson's celebrity,
You think I need a haircut? I think people are looking through the door and not opening. I need a haircut.
but he has plenty of charm.
Must be the hair.
If the residents of Uxbridge and South Ruislip would only open their doors to hear it.
89